Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion. It's another C64 arcade release, and it's Puzzle Bobble. And I've not seen this version yet, so you're all on the same boat as me today. From what I've heard, though, it's supposed to be pretty good, so we'll be checking that out today. And yes, it runs on actual C64 hardware. So all of you purists out there will be able to play on your Commodore 64s. If not, then grab yourself an emulator and you can play it on your PC. So there you go. But so far, it's looking lovely, isn't it? Graphically, and it's loading in as we speak. Quite excited to play this one, although I am notoriously bad at Puzzle Bobble games, and we'll see if let's see if there's an exception to the rule today. I always seem to get a few stages in and then just get absolutely flummoxed. Well, this is rather lovely, isn't it? Yes. Well, wow. Okay, that's pretty damn good, to be fair. Well, it's graphically, it's absolutely beautiful. Oh, cutesy animations as well. There we go, and all the little bubbles have got smiley faces. That's really cutesy as well. I think a bit of attention to detail here, which is nice. Now, the only thing missing, as far as I can tell, is the guiding line. That I think in the early levels, at least, you had a guiding line to show you where the ball or the bubbles were going to land. I like the screen shake as well, to warn you that the screen's about to move. That's quite a nice touch. So they've done they've got it pretty much perfect, haven't they? That's quite a nice thing. Yeah, and do you know what? It's really smooth as well. Animation wise, you've got, I mean, there's not a lot to speak of, really. You've got the Bub and Bob down the bottom, and good news for all of you multiplayer enthusiasts out there. This is 2 players simultaneously, head to head. Oh yes. So I'd love to show you that, but there's only me here, so it's a bit difficult to do that. But I can assure you that multiplayer exists, so you don't have to make up your own rules. You can just go head to head with your friends and see if you can beat them at their own game, so to speak. But yeah, this is really good. Very faithful to the arcade so far, from what I can see. And well, you know, we are on stage. Well, we're on round 3, which, you know, it's early doors yet. You just give it time, and I'm sure I'll start getting screwed over, because that's the way it works with these games and me. It's just, I don't know if it's just me or whether these games are just hard. I'm not sure, but I am enjoying it, so that's a good sign. But yeah, it's very pretty. The graphics are nice, the colours are nice. There's a lot of nice little touches here. Look at the coloured. Look at the bubbles coming out of the bag next to Bub down in the bottom left. That's a really cute little touch, that is. Like that a lot. Level design, pretty much spot on as well. I mean, this is the closest you're going to get to Puzzle Bobble Arcade on a Commodore 64. Let's face it, folks. If you enjoyed Puzzle Bobble on the arcade, you're going to lap this up. And I think, you know, again, if we'd have had this back in the day, I think everyone would have been absolutely amazed and incredibly happy to have such a quality arcade conversion. Now, the only thing that I'm looking at, which I'm just checking as we play, is how much time you get between screen shakes, because as soon as that comes down too far, that's your level finished. And obviously with the bubbles coming out, and this is what I always find with these games, is that you're looking for a certain colour to get that screen a little emptier, and they just refuse to spawn. You get all the colours that you don't need, which is really helpful. Although so far it seems to be playing ball, no pun intended. So yeah, so far so good. And I just love it. It's very cute. It's very cute. I love it. And all the levels are very, very spot on as well. The level design's great. Look at all the little animations on the bubbles as well, especially the yellow ones. They seem to animate. Actually, no, they're all doing it, which is they're all sort of like just turning their heads and grinning and stuff. That's really quite cute. So a lot of attention to detail here, which is great. But yeah, I mean, Puzzle Bobble, it is what it is. It's a good little puzzle game, and they've done an excellent job on bringing that to the C64. It was released on the Amstrad recently as well. I must have a look at that one as well. But so far, I'm reasonably impressed by this. It's not my strong point in game playing by any means, but at least you're getting an idea of of what it looks like, how it plays, how smooth it is, that kind of thing. And I'd love to hear your comments actually on this. Were you a Puzzle Bobble fan back in the day? Did you pump lots of quarters or 10p's into the machine and have a go? Did you go head to head? Just let me know. Did you play Puzzle Bobble on any other system? And are you planning to play it on the C64? And if so, are you going to play it on emulation or actual hardware? Let me know in the comments. I always like these conversation starters. I think it's always interesting to figure out from you guys what your preferences are, really. Are you purists or are you emulation fans? I mean, to be fair, there's not a lot of difference these days, is there really? I think with the C64 it's a bit different, isn't it? Because on the actual hardware you got the SID chip, and although you can get a SID chip add-on for your PC, unless you've got that installed, then you have to kind of put up with what the emulator can do. Now, that does a pretty good job, but the audio on an actual C64 I think is always going to be superior to what an emulator can push out. So it's interesting, isn't it? But I think, you know, for the sake of saving your media, I think these days emulation really does come into its own, and you know, you don't want to wreck your own. Well, not wreck. That's the wrong word, because you're not going to wreck your own hardware, are you? But you know what I mean. It just preserves the original hardware a bit longer for you. But if you really do want to play it on the original McCoy, then you can. So that's what I was getting at. There you go. I hope you're going to give this a go, by the way. I'll include the link in the description so you can go and download it as well. And let me know what you think of the game when you get to play it yourselves. Now, sound and music in this is great. You get the little let's go speech at the start of each level, which if you've played the arcade version, that is present and correct there as well. Oops, don't let that happen, or else, yeah. Absolutely love the Neo Geo startup sequence as well. That's very tongue-in-cheek as well. So well done on including that. Now the only thing I'm finding here is that the screen's coming down a little bit too fast, I think, for my liking. Now I do struggle a little bit with reaction times due to various medical problems, but I don't know. Just let me know what you think. Is it me, or is the screen shake and the level drop coming in a bit too quickly? Because look, there's not much I can do here now. So that I'm sort of noticing more on this level than I had on the previous levels. There's not a lot I can do about it. And I think having that guiding arrow would be a really nice feature to have, as that's going to happen a lot, isn't it? The grey screen. That's a bit disappointing, but I'm not going to judge it on that, because maybe that's something that could be fixed in an update. Maybe you could have some difficulty options in there where the screen doesn't come down quite as quickly as this. But I just feel like we're on stage 6 and already I'm struggling. And I don't know whether that would be me or whether everybody else is going to struggle with it. I would be very interested to have feedback on that as well, because the developers do come along and they do check these videos, and I suspect they read the comments. So please pop along, even if it's to go to their channel or their ITC, is it ITC H page? I'll include it in the description anyway. Don't worry about that. But let them know if there's anything that you can see that needs fixing, or perhaps that, you know, features that they could maybe add later on. But yeah, I'm just finding this a little bit. I mean, look at that. I mean, yeah, I'm not even sure. I'm really trying not to slate this because I don't want to. Observations, I think, are the bubbles going exactly where the pointer is pointing. I think they are. It's difficult when you're actually playing it and trying to review at the same time, but yeah. So the only thing I've noticed is that the screen comes down a little bit too fast, so there's not much you can really do about getting the right coloured bubbles. They don't seem to be shooting them out at the right speed either. Not speed, but the right colours at the right times. I've got no colours there I can do much with, although I could just be crap. So there we are. But I've got to say, the game is absolutely brilliant. It's a beautiful game, and they've done a massively good job on bringing the arcade experience to the C64. So massive hats off to you guys for doing this. I'm probably just not very good at the game, to be honest. But this is now my fourth time on level 6. I can't seem to stop the screen from coming down. It's coming down a bit fast. But that's just my perception. Like I said, I might be getting this completely wrong. However, as an arcade experience goes, it's pretty much a 10 out of 10. Graphics are absolutely fantastic and right on the money, so that's another 10 out of 10 for me on that. Sound and music score, absolutely brilliant. So again, that's a top scorer. Playability-wise, well, it's Puzzle Bobble and it's on your C64. You're going to play it, you're going to come back to it, so the replay value is top-notch. So well done. On producing such a quality game with what I would say would have been restrictive hardware at the time, but obviously we're finding ways around those restrictions these days, and I think it's really quite clever the way that these games are being put onto these systems now. And I'm sure there's lots of people out there that would love this game. I just don't particularly get on with games like this, but I felt that it was rude not to give it a go. But I'm still very impressed by it. Don't get me wrong. I don't dislike the game at all. It's just not my cup of tea, really. However, I am enjoying it, and that's a good thing. And age range, well, any really. It's Puzzle Bobble. You've got Bub and Bob and down the bottom there, and everything's nice and cutesy. So it's going to appeal to all age groups as well. So if you've got a couple of friends around as well, slam on that second joystick and get some multiplayer action going, where you can compete head to head, which is even more fun. And then you can punch your friend in the arm every time he beats you. Because honestly, that would be me to a T. You can see there's a blue blob there. There's no way I can get to the blues. Yeah, I don't know. My feeling is that just slightly slower on the screen, pull down, and maybe a guiding arrow option would be lovely. But realistically, I'm nitpicking. So there you go. But yeah, as arcade conversions go, this is probably one of the ones in my top 10. So there you go. Can't go wrong. Again, I'm going to be looking at Green Beret on the Amiga at some point very soon. I was just having the time to do it. I'm going through a little bit of some stuff in personal life at the moment, which is taking a little bit of my time. But I'm going to do my best to keep these reviews coming out strong and at a decent pace for everybody. And it's a bit of therapy for me as well, so I can sort of witter to you guys about retro gaming, which is always fun. So yeah, this is Puzzle Bobble on the Commodore 64, and it's got as many continues as you want. I think it's quite nice. Use your buttons, your controls. Let's not forget about controls. Your left and right steers the arrow, and then your fire button will launch the bubbles up into the stratosphere there, and it also acts as your credits. So when you're doing when you're on the intro screen, if you press the fire button, it will add coins to the machine, and then press 1 or 2 to start a 1 or 2 player game, and have tons of fun with it. So that's roundabout it, guys. Go along to the developers page and support them as well, because it's such a quality release and it's free to download. So I mean, gobsmacking and jaw-dropping at the same time. So well done, and you know, show them some love, guys. They deserve it. This is a stonking game, and may these arcade conversions, you know, long continue, because they are very, very good. I'm actually looking forward to Wonder Boy on the Amiga. That's coming soon as well. And there's a AGA version of Castlevania on the way as well. Hopefully they'll keep that project going, because so far it looks stunning. But it's 2022, and it's these retro games are coming back in such a big way. You know, we've only just come out of January, and we've already got a plethora of games to enjoy already, and they're coming out at a fair pace, which is great, because it means there's more stuff to introduce to you guys as well. And on the back of Alwa's Awakening, by the way, I've gone out and got Alwa's Legacy as well for the PC on Steam, so I might review that as well, because it's a retro-esque type adventure. So if you'd like to see some PC games as well on the channel, let me know. I don't quite know what I can bring in that respect, but let's have a go. Let's see if there's anything on the PC that I can bring that's retro and will fit with the channel's sort of ideology, really. So there you go. Anyway, it's midweek and I can't believe it's midweek already. It's crazy. The time just seems to slip away incredibly fast at the moment, and I don't know why. But there you go. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the review. Hope you go out and download this game and give it a good fair go. And until then, my friends, I'll catch you on the next video. And, well, yeah, until then, you keep it retro. And as always, it's bye for now. Ta-da, folks!